I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know.
Yeah, whoa, East Coast with that gang gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast go ahead, stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, gang, we famed up, got that change, we bagged up. Crew love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang.
Yo. What's up, fam?
Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine. Wifey is fine, I'm doing fine. Glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1133 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on? Yaz beaches, yaz booshes. Welcome to 1133. Thanks for joining me live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch, and banging your ear holes with ye old knowledge cock over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, everywhere. Make sure to check out swolenormousx.com for all the links on the blog, apparel, the podcast. Anything you want to find is over there. And Swolenormous everywhere on all platforms. What up? We got a brand new YouTube drop today. Dropped a new one, a new Ask Papa Swolio on YouTube. So that's fire. If you haven't checked it out, you got something waiting for you. Got little treats over there. And some new stuff on Instagram if you haven't yet checked it out. So posting all over the place, and of course Facebook. But you know, it depends on what you're looking for. It depends on where you want to check out Daddy-O-Yo. It's all good. It's all good. Wherever you watch, I'll put something. I'll stick it somewhere. You know, that's what he said. I'll just put it somewhere. Don't you worry about me. Don't you worry about Daddy. I'll find somewhere to stick it. It'll be all good. The Swolenormous before the intro is hilarious. Oh, stop. No, stop. We try different things. We being me, being us. You never know. You never know how swole you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get with the Daily Swole podcast. You never know what's going to come up. Who knows? I don't even know I don't even know what's going on half the time. I don't know what fucking day of the week it is. Stick it somewhere, huh? Yeah. Fuck it. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what he said. That's what Papa Swolio said. What would Papa Swolio do? He'd put it somewhere. Never, no doubt, no doubt. He'll figure it out. He shall figure it out. So let's see. I went to the gym today, obviously. And no, obviously, this is not what you're going to expect. So I went to the gym today, went in, and then all of a sudden it was just like, I really do think I need to mix up my spots sometimes. I have, it's been a rough week a little bit. It's been a little bit of a rough week for me, but in the sense that I had to stay up all night, literally like 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, 2.5 days ago, I had to pull an all-nighter. Like I was up all night, all day until like late the next night. Just some like house stuff that went down with like the water heater. You know, you all know you've had the same issues. It's just like, it's not anything different than like you're fucking, you had a flat tire type of thing, you know, had a leak. So I had to get the water. It was just a flood. It was like a flooding type shit and it sucked. So that was like a couple days ago and oof. It's just, here's the thing. I've been focusing so much more on my sleep. Been focusing so much more on my sleep in the sense that I'm making sure that I'm getting enough. No matter what time I go to sleep, I'm trying to get to sleep earlier and earlier, but even if I get to sleep late, I'm sleeping later. I'm making sure I'm not shorting my sleep. And we talk about sleep a lot. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, of course, because obviously sleep is important. We talk about how it's challenging to get sleep and consistent sleep, but that's a very, with lack, to not say like an honorable goal, it's a good focus. Just as much as, and I'm trying to bring that to your attention in terms of, we all focus on the training. Okay, nutrition, it's 80% nutrition, 20% exercise, 70-30, whatever those fake numbers are. It's also sleep. It's sleep, hydration, nutrition, training. It's your mental state. All those things are equally important. And we don't put pressure on sleep enough as right up on the pedestal next to nutrition and next to training. We talk about recovery. What do we do normally? What do we do normally when we talk about recovery? We talk about foam rolling. We talk about yoga. We talk about eating right because, hey, you go train. How do you recover? You repair. You go and eat. You're stretching. We don't talk enough about sleep. We just don't talk enough about sleep. That's it. That's what we do not talk about is sleep enough. So the other night when the water heater broke. You know how I know? Because I went to the kitchen to get some tea, before bed. I walked back out and I stepped in the carpet and water went over my foot. Fuck my life. So ran to like the closet, didn't feel any water on the top. It was coming from the bottom. It was all dry, but the carpet was wet. I'm like, fuck. Turned off the water, pulled the breaker, and, had to get fans and the carpet shit and, just dealing with it. Okay. Not looking for sympathy. You all have the same shit going on, but it was a late night and I was just like, fuck it. I just stayed up because I had to deal with it. So in other words, it flooded and it was like, by the time I got, figured out and I was like, the towels, every towel in the fucking house, right? Every single towel in the house was just on the carpet, soaking up water in 2 seconds. Then I had to get another towel, just trying to get as much water up because it's usually a time frame thing. You had to soak up the water. So then by the time it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, so I could just stay up, go to Home Depot, get the big carpet blowers, dry it out, all that shit. But that one day, because I've been focusing so much on my sleep, I used to be all hours of the night, all hours of the day sleeping and, just running on adrenaline and just fucking crushing it. But now that I've been on such a good pattern of just getting plenty of sleep, that one day fucked me up until today. Like I'm still feel like I'm underwater. I still feel like I feel more stiff. I feel more drained. It takes a lot out of you. And I say you in the sense that it's these things that we do. Here's why I give you this whole background, that just fucking story. Why does that story matter? And it's not for sympathy. It's for perspective, because when you're in the middle of it, when you're in the middle of juggling your sleep, when you're in the middle of going to work, picking up your kids, making dinner, going to the gym, when you're in this cycle, when you're just in the middle and you allow yourself to be buried by it all and you're just juggling, when you're just juggling your life, you don't notice the effect of some of these things on your body. You don't notice all these little subtle changes. You don't notice the impact that these things have, because if you're used to getting crappy sleep, you get used to crappy sleep. If you were used to training hard 7 days a week and you never take a day off, even if you're burnt out, overtraining, and fried, you just get used to training 7 days a week and you adapt, and you just get used to feeling always sore. You get used to feeling always tired. You get used to feeling always X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. You get used to whatever situation you constantly put yourself in. So if you step out of that situation and then you go back into the bad situation, all of a sudden it hits you like a ton of bricks and you wonder what the fuck is going on. So this is the kind of thing that I dealt with, because I went to the gym and I just felt, why am I so, and I thought to myself, and it wasn't as obvious as you think it was, because it was just a little blip on the radar. I stayed up all night. I fucking did. Okay, it's on. It's fixed. They replaced it. Okay, good. I'm at the gym and I'm thinking, why do I feel stiff? Why do I feel kind of like hazy? And I realized, like 2 days ago, I was up for like 48 fucking hours. Well, that's why. And it takes a lot out of you for a couple days. Once you get back into a good flow. And if you're one of those people, and I'm sure I'm seeing that in the comments, I see a couple, when you're sleeping regularly, if you lose like an hour or two of sleep, if you're, let's say you're used to getting 8 hours of sleep or 9 hours of sleep, and then one night you get 5, you're going to feel like you got slapped with a fucking tire iron. You're going to feel absolutely destroyed, because you're so used to that level of recovery that the change in your pattern really sets you off. And there's nothing more fundamental than sleep and your circadian rhythm. Sleep is one of those things that the human body absolutely needs. So if we look at, and this is kind of like, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You need shelter and community and food and like the basics. What were the basic things that you need? Well, you need to eat and you need to sleep and you need water, you need shelter. Like there's a few things that you fucking need to just function, like absolutely, like your heartbeat. You need to live. Sleep, water, food, those are the basics. Shelter, those are the things that you need. And we worry a lot about the training part. We worry a lot about the movement part. We worry a lot about the action. We worry a lot about body fat percentage. We worry a lot about the things that are more based on society standards. We worry about the things that are more, for lack of better explanation, higher level, higher on that hierarchy. If we are focusing on body composition so much, if we're focusing on training splits and these types of proactive things in terms of what we want to do for our performance, what we want to do for how we look in the mirror, for extra body fat around our belly, we always have to come back to, am I doing these basics? And when I talk about the basics, let's talk about the basics for what they really are. I'm not talking about the basic exercise. Oh, barbell squat, barbell, that too. But what I'm talking about now is the basics for your life, because fitness is your life and life is your fitness and your health. It's all one. And I've said many times on this podcast that it's important to think of fitness as something about a part of your existence, not a hobby, not something that you're making time for, something that you're prioritizing because it is you. It leads you to enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. It allows you to live healthier and longer and better. It's just the fundamental. It's intertwined with your life, with your existence. And what is intertwined with fundamental to your existence? Food, rest, sleep, nutrition. Those are basics. Yet a lot of people aren't eating right. Okay, nutrition. A lot of people aren't sleeping right. Okay, sleep. A lot of people aren't hydrating properly. Okay, water. So when we don't get results in the gym, when we're not getting the same kind of feedback and the same type of progress that we think we should be getting, and we look at, okay, I'm not eating properly, I need to do better with my nutrition, we generally discuss it on videos and on social media and in terms of fitness. We look at nutrition in terms of fitness. I'm working through this in my head too, so just stay with me, and I hope this makes sense. We look at nutrition through the lens of, oh, when you're doing fitness, when you're training, you should be eating right for your exercise. But nutrition is much more fundamental than, okay, we're looking at it and we're separating it as another category. You need to eat properly for training. You need to eat properly for just plain, pure fucking existence. Just being on this earth, you need to be eating. Nutrition is vital. You need to get enough calories. You need to get enough of certain types of calories. You need to get enough of certain types of nutrients, macro and micronutrients. You don't just need water, you need enough water. You need clean water. You need water after expenditure. You need, right? You just need water to live. So nutrition, hydration, sleep, we can talk about those things in terms of our fitness, okay, but the reason why those things are so important for the fitness aspect, for getting results, is because those things are essential for our very survival, fundamentally, period, end of story. It goes a lot deeper than just the gym, is what I'm saying. It goes a lot deeper than just the gym. It goes a lot deeper. However, when you focus on those, it will help the exercise. It will help the gym. It will help the body composition. It will help how you feel. So because I was up all night and all day, that is affecting how I think. It's affecting my mood big time. Like today was just fucking dragging ass, forcing it in terms of just really pushing through it. And I tried to go to the gym. I went to the gym. Listen, fam, I was dressed. I went into the gym, signed in, walked over to the warm up. I literally went in the gym, and I went out of brutal, just fundamental habit and just discipline, just pure. I went in, but I went in and I'm like, fuck, this is not where I need to be. And it was such a deep seated like realization that this is just, I need to take care of the way I feel. And that goes back to the fundamental need. And we can't put this stuff off. We can't. As a society, as health, we can't separate this stuff anymore. You know, we're talking so much about supplements and programming and just diet plans and the elimination diet and all these things that are important and effective for having a fitness podcast and a health podcast. But this is more, this is the same topics and the same content that you would be discussing when you discuss just basic life and survival. So when you're not getting enough sleep, it's affecting you much more at the core of who you are as a human, as an organism, much more than just, hey, I want to lose some fat around my stomach. There's a reason why stress hormones go up. There's a reason why you'll have trouble losing weight. There's a reason why you're going to feel stressed. There's a reason why you're going to have bloating. There's a reason why, because when you eat improperly, when you don't sleep enough, when you're not hydrating, these are the most basic fundamental needs of your existence on Earth. Fundamental. Of course, how you tweak those things will lead you to maybe excelling performance-wise or strength-wise in this, but that's much higher level. What we talk about in general is very, 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 very high level. It's very, 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 very high up on that hierarchy. It's not at the bottom. It's not at the foundation. It's not the basic nutrition. Like, what's the basics? You need the right food and you need enough of it. You need the clean water and you need enough of it. You need sleep and you need enough of it. Getting 3 hours of sleep is not enough. Sleep is good, and if you're not getting enough, even if you get 3 or 4 or 5 hours, it's not enough to be truly healthy. It's not enough for your body. Can you get used to 4 or 5 hours of sleep? Of course you can. Why? Your body is also hardwired to survive as long as it can, no matter what. But it's going to wear you down. It's going to age you faster. It's going to fatigue you. It's going to affect all functioning of your body, your cognitive function, your restorative function, your performance, your energy levels, your mood. It's going to affect everything. And when you go into these extremes and you change and you like have that experience like I'm describing where you get regular sleep and you're getting enough, and then you flip the script and you don't have it, all of a sudden, holy shit, you feel like you're underwater. And a lot of you watching, listening, you're underwater every day. And if you're underwater psychologically, that's just one effect. If you feel kind of clouded in your brain, that's one effect. That's one effect. That's one. You don't feel stress hormones, like in that sense. You don't feel the fact that your body is storing more fat. You don't feel the fact that you might be retaining more water. You don't feel those things. Your body just does it. And again, you don't notice the contrast because you're always doing it. If you're always getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep, and let's say that some people don't need as much as others. Some people have genetic mutations, so to speak, and they can function just fine off 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Most people need more. So if you are not getting enough, you also don't necessarily notice it because you're used to not getting enough. You're used to not getting enough sleep. You're used to functioning on less. So it becomes your normal and you don't notice it anymore. You don't notice the bloating. You don't notice the fat storage. I mean, you might notice that, but not in the moment. You just don't. You just don't notice it because it becomes your new normal. So what I want you to think about is, what are you adapting to? What are you allowing yourself to adapt to? What are you allowing yourself to adapt to? What are you giving? What are you sacrificing? What are you sacrificing? What are you allowing your body to adapt to? Are you allowing your body to adapt to insufficient sleep? Are you allowing your body to adapt to poor recovery? Are you allowing your body to adapt to poor food choices? Are you allowing your body to adapt to lack of exercise? And it's very easy to justify. It's very easy to ignore because it becomes normal. So it doesn't feel like it's impacting you that bad because you're in it. It's just like a relationship. A lot of you have this experience, whether from you first person or maybe a friend of yours. It's different when you're in the relationship. Sometimes you're in a bad relationship, whether it's platonic or not. If you're in a bad relationship, people might be telling you, you got to get out of that fucking relationship. And you're like, no, it'll work out, or we just got to talk and this. And someone from the outside is like, what the fuck are you talking about? You have to break up with this person, or you have to stop hanging out with this person. And you, to the other person, you're going to look at them and tell them, you need to leave. You need to get out of this fucking situation. But when you're in the situation, you make all these justifications. No, it's not that bad. Or no, I got to do this because of blah, blah, blah. And then when you get out of that situation, or the other person gets out of that situation, you look back on it with perspective and you realize, what the fuck was I thinking? Was I out of my fucking mind? And these are the lessons we learn as we go through life. But you don't have that perspective because you're in the middle of it. So when you're in the middle of not getting enough sleep, when you're in the middle of not getting enough nutrition or the proper nutrition, when you're in the middle of not hydrating properly, when you're in the middle of not exercising regularly or properly or consistently or whatever, you don't notice it. You're in the middle. And when someone else tells you, you just react and you're like, no, come on, it's fine. Or I'm going to start next time, or I'm doing a little bit, or I'm fine, or don't. You justify it. You don't have perspective. You don't know what it's like on the other side. You don't realize how bad you're doing. You don't realize how much damage it's doing to your body until you come out of that fog a little bit and then end up going back in. You're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? What was I doing this whole time? How did I function? And for so many years and months and whatever periods where I was up super late and then up early and, I'm tired and I was like, eyes puffy, but I was functioning. I was doing it because I was just driven and passionate and editing videos. I mean, this is still going on now, but sometimes now it's more rare that I do that because I realize, look, this is the long term for the long haul. I need to take care of my health more. So I'll put things off until the next day or the morning. I'm much better at, managing what I have to do right now and what can wait till tomorrow. And that's the title of today's episode, Today versus Tomorrow. What do you have to get done today? And tomorrow's coming. You're never going to get everything done today. And many things that you're going to do today, even if you get it done today, you have to do it again tomorrow. It's like these repetitive tasks. For me, it might be creating a video that has to be edited and uploaded. It's like, well, fine. Even if I do it today, tomorrow I'm going to have another one to do anyway. It's like, I may as well just do it then and do it here. And it never ends. A lot of stuff in life is just repetitive, but we lose the perspective of how bad we're doing. So it's important to call ourselves out on our own shit. It's important for me to be able to step back and be like, yo, you fucked up on your sleep. Just leave. So I left the gym. I didn't work out today. I did some, I'm going to go in the sauna. I'm going to do some recovery and some meditation. I'm going to stretch a little bit in the sauna and, unwind. And then tomorrow I'll go and I'll work out and I'll feel better. And if I really don't feel like it, if I feel drained still, I'll get back on my routine more. I'll get my head right. So it's important to be able to give yourself that perspective. That's one of the things that meditation helps with. That's one of the things that just having time for yourself to think and to look at what you're doing day to day to kind of analyze. It's very easy to get wrapped up in just juggling all the responsibilities, to get wrapped up and start and just juggle all the thoughts, not just the responsibilities, but all the thoughts about those responsibilities. Because the way our brains work, it's not just thinking, hey, I'm going to the gym. It's thinking, what am I going to do? Do I need this supplement? Should I be drinking this first, drinking this during? What exercise am I doing? How many sets? How many this? And, how much rest between? Should I be doing drop sets, supersets, plyo sets, triple sets, giant sets, boom sets? And you have all these thoughts. You have the gym, and then you have all these thoughts, thoughts while you're there. You're thinking about the next set. You're thinking about the one you just did. You think about the one you're doing. Think about the next exercise, tomorrow's workout, what you're going to eat later, what your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, uncle, best friend's doing. You're getting other text messages. You're listening to music. You have other responsibilities. You're thinking about many more things than you could ever imagine at one given time. You just have thoughts just fucking your head all the time. It's hard to cut through that noise, but that's why the basics, whenever you are stuck, you always should go back and come back to the common denominator. And that's the nutrition, the sleep, the hydration, the mental clarity. All those things are the most fundamental. And if you don't have those, it's very hard to build a pyramid or to build a building when you have a shaky foundation. And every day you're building a brand new building. Every week you have a brand new building. Every month you have a brand new building. Every year, like you're always building every day. You can always whittle it down and kind of narrow it down. You're always creating something, and you need that foundation. You need to be in the right place. And life is very repetitive. We have a schedule. It cycles around. But at the same time, it doesn't cycle around. It goes longitudinally. So as much as we have a week cycle, a year cycle, we have a day cycle, it repeats. Now it's 12 a.m. It's 8 o'clock. There'll be an 8 o'clock tomorrow. There'll be an 8 o'clock the next day. There'll be an 8 o'clock the day after. There'll be an 8 o'clock the day after that. So we create this routine as a society. The earth has a routine. We create this just fucking circle that just knocks us around over and over again. But the difference is, we're not going around circle and circle. We, with time, just keep on getting older and older and older and older. So as much as it seems like we're just cycling over and over again and we get a fresh start every single day, yes and no. We get a brand new start every day. Okay. But tomorrow you're older than you were yesterday. The next day you're older. You're losing time. You're restarting, kind of. But no, you're never really restarting. You're just going straight ahead. We think of every day as like a circle. The clock goes around a fucking circle. We're not going in a circle, people. We're going fucking straight. We're going to the end. We're moving forward. We're not slowing down. You're not getting this time back, so it's not really much of a circle. It's not really much of a it's not really much of a circle of life or whatever you want to call it. No, we're going. We're disappearing. All of us watching and listening, me, we're all dying, So it's important to, in our little lives, when we focus on our priorities, I think they need to match up more. I think they need to match up more for our general health. And when we have that locked down, then we can actually clear up some space to focus on some of these more trivial concepts. Whether or not we're going to be eating a specific nutrition plan, whether or not we're cutting out a certain food, whether or not we're adding a new exercise to our program, or we're going to try a different move because we're going to add some more recovery, or try this type of yoga today, or, let me change up my split a little bit. Let me take a day off. Those are just details. Those are the things that just kind of like, all right, they change. They're going to come and go. Your moods are going to change day to day. Your energy levels, your goals with your body, your interest in fitness and what you want to do for exercise is going to change. Maybe you want to try a different type of exercise. Maybe you want to go more cardiovascular, more endurance. You're going to change, but the fundamentals have to always be there. You got to be focusing on the basics with the nutrition. You have to create, and I put this on Instagram, you have to control what you can control. What was the Instagram post? Let me see what I wrote. Focus on what you can control. Everything else is noise. Okay. So this is on Instagram today. Focus on what you can control. Everything else is noise. So if you haven't gone and left a comment or liked the post or something, go check it out, share it, tag someone, but focus on what you can control. And what that means in the context of what we're just talking about, if you keep yourself inside, you try to keep yourself as even keel as possible, the world around you is going to be as fluctuating as always. It's always going to be a hot fucking mess, up and down, inside out, back and forth. It's going to be a fucking tumultuous shitstorm all the time. It's never going to change. It's always going to be, if anything, it's going to get worse. Things are going to happen. There are going to be tragedies. There's going to be death. There's going to be good things. There'll be hot. There's going to be rain. There's going to be storms. There's going to be tornadoes and earthquakes and tsunamis and floods. There's always going to be that shit. And hopefully less destruction for, I definitely not wishing any harm on anyone, but there's always going to be that shit. There's always going to be happiness and sadness and regret and excitement and good moods, everyone. But outside, you can't control. Everything else is like the weather. You can't control what other people do. You can control what someone else does, the same that you can control the weather. You can't control shit. You can't control a fucking thing. So what can you control? You can control your sleep habits, your nutrition, your hydration, your perspective, your focus. Like, that's inside you. Inside you is what you can control. And if you focus more on yourself, then you can actually deal with all this other stuff, because it'll cut through like a hot knife through butter. It's not going to affect you, the good or the bad. You have to, it'll help you navigate those waters. It's like giving yourself a compass. It's like giving yourself GPS, mental GPS. So when I was at the gym today, I realized, I'm like, I need to go and I need to fix this. I need to wrap up my day and get some other stuff done so I'm not up late again tonight. I need to reset tonight, take care of this, and fucking get this, party back on, get this train back on the tracks. Always go focus on you, focus on what you can control in terms of your health, your fitness, your journey, your stuff. What can you improve with you? And then the other stuff will figure it out. You have to block out all the other stuff. It's time to block out more people. I don't know how many of you are following a lot of people. A lot of you are watching on Instagram. Some of you watch on Facebook. And, this is probably a good time as any to cut out a lot of the noise. And a lot of you, we've heard me talk about this on the podcast before, and we've done these little challenges or pretty much directives to unfollow people, to delete people in your circle, your personal circle, but also your social circle. And for something like Instagram, for example, when you log into Instagram, all you see is the posts from everyone that you follow. And if you follow 1,000 people on Instagram, you're going to load up Instagram and just get a fucking shitstorm of just everything that everyone you follow, everything that they fucking post. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't give a single fuck what anyone else is doing on Instagram. I barely care what anyone is doing. So I follow like 12 people or something like that. Because when I open Instagram, there's only a couple things that I might want to see. I scroll through those pretty quickly and I'm on with my life. I don't want to see any of it. Unfollow Friday. Yeah, we've done that so many times before. And I tell everyone, send me screenshots before and after. But that's what you need to do. It's not Facebook that's causing you all this dismay. Oh, I'm getting rid of Facebook. There's too much bullshit. It's because you're allowing bullshit in your life. Oh, Instagram is so poisonous. All I see is you see this, and I see all these people with better bodies and better this. Then stop looking at them. It's always people that are complaining about this that follow like 10,000 fucking people. Then delete all of it. Get rid of it. You can open up the app and search for something that you want to see. that you want to see, not everything that everyone fucking vomits on online. I don't look at anyone's shit. The longer that I do this, and that's why when you ask me, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this product or this page or this? I'm like, I have no fucking idea. And I don't even look. What do you think about this person? I don't know. I could open up my phone and go check it out and take a look. I don't care. I don't care what people are doing. We can discuss concepts. We can discuss actual information. But there's so much fucking crap out there. You'll never be through it. You'll never be past it. It's always going to be there, and it's getting worse. More and more people have access to the internet, so you're going to see more and more bullshit. But here's the thing. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. The internet is great. Social media is great. You can contact and FaceTime and message anyone you need to in the world. It's fucking amazing. The problem is your control of it and your ability to unfollow and not look at most of this fucking crap. If you're scrolling all day and you're engaging in all this stuff, that's your fault. You're fucking up. It's your fault. It's not the fact that someone else wants to post something about whatever you don't believe in. If you're going after that and you're going to be like, oh, and get pissed off about it, stop letting that in your fucking life. You're in control. It goes back to what you can control. And you can control that. You can control what you do, what you say. You can control, in some cases, what you think. You can control how you think about what you think and what your process of thought is. It's habit forming. It's creating these beneficial pathways and these new responses to things. And training is great. Fitness is great. All this is fucking amazing. But the more questions I answer, the more problems and the more issues that I fix for myself, and the more questions that I answer for all of you, literally, because I'm always posting those question stickers, I get a shitload of fucking answers. And Ask Papa Swole, I get tons and tons of questions on YouTube and Instagram here. And every time I see these questions and I go through, it's just more and more apparent to me that there are a couple simple answers for all these questions. I just see the same ones over and over again. And if the same question keeps on coming up and coming up and coming up, then that answer is not something that you're actually should be seeking. That's not the actual answer to your problem, which is generally why someone asks a question. You're asking a question to solve an issue. You want a response so that question can be solved. But a lot of times the question itself shouldn't even be, that's not even the answer that you're looking for. And it's not sexy or hardcore. It's not marketable. You can't put it into a box. You can't put it into a powder or a pill and sell some of this shit. You can't sell hard work. You can't really sell, hey, you got to sell a hierarchy of need, sell the fundamentals. But that's what we're doing here. We're talking about the fundamentals. And the reason why most people aren't getting results is because they don't want to believe that. They don't want to focus on the fundamentals. They want something complicated that seems like they want busy work. And a lot of what I see in fitness in terms of programming and nutrition, a lot of it's busy work. It's doing a lot of shit. It's measuring, counting, scaling, whatever you're doing with carb cycling or reverse dieting, and you're analyzing every last thing. A lot of that is just busy work. It's doing a lot of shit, but it's making a lot of noise. It's keeping you active. It's keeping you busy, but it's not necessary. It's keeping you busy, but it's not giving you the value and the response. It's like doing way too much cardio. It's keeping you fucking busy, but you're not using your time as wisely as you should be. That's true. A lot of times people ask questions that they already know the answers to. That's true. A lot of people ask questions because they want to hear your response. They just collect answers. A lot of people are just answer receptacles. They just ask questions. They just ask. And when you're asking questions, you're usually not putting in the work. You're busy asking questions rather than if you actually tried some of these things, you know the answer already. You want someone else to tell you. And a lot of times there isn't an answer that someone can tell you. You have to experience the answer. And that's one of the things that's really important about nutrition. And that's what the elimination diet teaches you. And that's what actually putting in this kind of stuff that we talk about all the time into practice, when you feel the difference, when you feel like I did today at the gym, when you feel that fatigue from not getting enough sleep, when you actually feel it, wow, that really impacted me today. I was happy to leave. I'm like, wow, I really need to even step up even more my approach with my sleep and my recovery. When you cut out some of these foods that you've been eating for your entire life, and you cut them out, and you realize when you bring, let's say, ice cream or candy or bread back into your diet, and it fucking, your stomach just hurts and you feel bloated and just like you have a ripping migraine, just a fucking headache, and you think to yourself, oh my God, then all of a sudden, everything that we've talked about, everything you've heard me talk about, or you've heard someone else talk about nutrition and inflammatory foods and like poor reactions, it becomes real. And until you actually experience it, until you actually try it and you feel what actually happens, it's just words. It's just an idea. It's just a concept. Sure, it can make sense, but when you experience it, that's why with fitness, when I talk about it, a lot of people, you could be certified as a trainer. If you have no experience, that's it. It's just a piece of paper. You passed a test. Very good. You memorized some information and spit it back out. That's why a certification doesn't mean jack shit. You need experience. You need experience. If you hire a trainer and they have a certification, cool, they passed a test with a minimum pass rate. Maybe they barely passed. Okay, they passed a test on a computer. Great. What does that mean? Does that mean that they know the information, or that they can repeat to you what they memorized from a fucking book? There's a difference between acquiring information and knowledge and applying that and having experience and having learned the effects and having learned and experienced what happens when you apply that information. That's why doing the elimination, that's why experiencing how that food, how the different foods feel, that's why when you do it, you get locked into it. A lot of you that have done this and done the elimination, and you've experienced those kinds of pains and discomfort from eating bad food again, you're continuously less likely to go back and to fall off your diet plan and your approach, because you know firsthand what it feels like. You don't need to be told, well, don't eat that, that's bad. That's why most people fall off their fucking diet. Think about this. If you're on a diet and someone tells you you need to eat these foods, those foods are bad. Why? Well, they have a lot of sugar. You shouldn't be eating sugar. You shouldn't be able to do this. Okay, fine. And you're on a diet. You feel restricted. You feel like, some scolded by a parent. You can't have that. That's why this whole dieting's bad. Dieting's a bad mindset. Dieting's fantastic. Dieting's fucking fantastic. Diets are good. Diet is a way of eating. Eliminating certain foods and sticking to certain foods that work best for your body is your diet, and that's not a bad thing. Don't be afraid of the word. It's language. We give way too much power to these fucking words. It's not a bad thing. It's not an evil phrase. It means something. People just do a lot of dumb shit. Okay. Are you saying cars are bad? Are cars bad too just because some people put really fast engines and drive them into fucking trees and off cliffs? Cars are bad now? No. Food's fine. Diets are fine. Cars are fine. People just do dumb shit with both of them. People do dumb shit with cars. People do dumb shit with food. Okay? When you experience and you realize that how you actually feel, that the foods that you consume literally make you feel differently, literally control your body and literally lead to different outcomes. When you feel that firsthand, there's no comparison. There's no replacement for that. That's why I'm so happy when you all actually do it. That's why I got frustrated the other day when we're talking about people that just quit too early, people that start something and just quit a couple days after. It's like, well, fuck, I know for a fact you haven't put in the work. You haven't done it. Of course you haven't lost weight in 2 days or 3 days. Of course not. Of course you're a little anxious because it's something new. Well, good. Whatever you're doing isn't working. That's why this is going to work, because you're going to put in the fucking effort for something that has been proven to work. And if you're not willing to do that, then go back and stop complaining about not losing weight, because you obviously don't want change. And if you don't want change, then how the fuck am I going to help you? So here's your refund. go back to doing whatever the fuck, like hitting your head against the wall. That was an episode or two ago. You can go and listen to that. You probably have listened to that. You were here live. But that's the concept. You have to do it. You have to experience those things. And especially when it comes to nutrition, once you experience it, you don't go back. You all of a sudden understand, wow, I was living in a bubble. I had this veil pulled down over my eyes. I did not realize the impact of what I was doing when I was eating food. Seek truth now. Good name for that comment. The closest way to truth is through experience, so one must experiment. Agreed? Let's see. Oliver, doing the elimination diet was the best choice I ever made. Travis Howell, I have eliminated bread and anything with more than 10 grams of sugar and potatoes, but not much more than that. I want to work on cutting my sodium way back. I've been told with great hydration, sodium isn't a concern. Not sure if it's true or not. Thoughts? Yeah, salt's not the enemy. I would try better. I wouldn't be sucking down table salt. I use Celtic sea salt. It's amazing. Been using that for like 8 years. I love it. It's delicious. I put some in my water. I use it in all my food. It's good shit. Michael Ann, so true. Once you feel the change, it makes being around certain foods and grocery shopping easier because you're not tempted. For sure. I go to the supermarket, I buy what I need. I don't have any cravings for. I look at it, I see it. It's not real food. It doesn't attract me. There's nothing to attract. It's just marketing and science that's in there. Marketing and a science experiment. How long have I been eating healthier? What do you mean? Right now I eat cleaner, or, see, clean is I don't like that term, eating clean, because most people's idea of eating clean is different or healthier. For me personally, I'm as consistent as I ever have been in my entire life. And I'm continuously getting closer towards, okay, these foods, I still find things that, okay, this probably might not have been a good idea. I don't like to eat this food at a certain time, or, I'm just kind of tweaking things here and there. But bottom line, I'm just reading some of the comments here. Bottom line, when you have the experience, it's like the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, what is experience worth? You can talk about in a book, but the experience, you can read about building muscle, you can read about training in a book. Until you go through the years of training and all this, it doesn't matter. You can read all you want. Would you like to have a personal trainer or someone try to give you fitness advice that has read every fitness book? Someone who has read every single fitness book in the world, never stepped into a gym, but has read everything about it. Would you want them training you? Would you want someone who has never read a book, period, has results that you want, and has been in the gym fucking smashing for the last 15, 20 years? I mean, there's a lot to be said for the latter. It's nice when you combine them both. It's nice when you combine someone who has done education and research and kind of seen and canvassed what is out there, but also put in the work. You need someone that has experience. You need someone that has experience. You need someone that can lead by example, that can lead from, oh, I did that. Here's what you should do because I did this. I recommend this because this worked for me. That's so much more powerful. Why do you think when you look at, let's say you're going out to eat, or you're going to a museum or to a restaurant or to, I don't know, any kind of event or something, you will look things up on Yelp, you'll do some research. But if a friend of yours says, let's say you look up something and it got like a 4-star review, and you're like, oh, cool. And you tell your friend, hey, I'm going to such and such. And they're like, oh, don't go there. It's not what you think it is. It looks on the outside, it looks all blah, blah, blah. But when you go there, you have to do this and that. It's just, I don't recommend it. We went here instead. You're going to like this a lot more. And you'd be like, okay, cool. And you would listen to them. A personal recommendation is so much more powerful than just reading something or review or just research it. Like you'll trust someone that if you trust their opinion, you value their opinion. A personal, let's say, positive or negative review is extremely powerful. So it's important but that's from experience. That's from their experience. You trust experience a lot more. People trust experience too. And it's something to think about, just to put things into perspective when you have thoughts or you have hesitations or you have, it's how you're perceiving things. It's change. We're all human beings. We don't like change, but we want something. We want to put in the work. But we also are hesitant because there's no guarantee of the results. But that's what life is all about. We don't know what's going to happen, but there are certain guarantees and there's certain things that we need to focus on. And it comes back to the fundamentals, comes back to the basics, comes back to those human basics that are going to build that foundation for you to even focus on your fitness. And that's what this overall episode's about, because if you're not sleeping right, it's not just, oh, you need to sleep better to repair your muscles. You need to sleep to be a fucking human. You need to eat right to be a human. You need to drink enough fluids to be a fucking human, to be a functional human. And then, of course, if you're exercising, if you're training, then the food and the sleep and stuff is even more important. And you need to get even more of them and focus more consistently on them, because now you're adding intense training and breaking down. You're not just even keel. You're trying to progress and build muscle and challenge the body. So then you need to pay attention to those basics even more. And a lot of times we're not even paying attention to those basics enough just to kind of break even, just to exist on the earth, let alone to perform better, to build muscle, to maintain that. There's a lot of different layers to it. That's my problem. I get overloaded with information, then I end up confused about what to do and end up not doing anything right. Yeah, we get information paralysis. That's one of the downsides with the internet. That's one of the very, very few downsides with this exchange of information. It's because there's so much out there. There always was, but now there's just a lot out there in your face and it's accessible. So then it's very easy to feel confused, especially and that's why you shouldn't follow a lot of people. That's why you shouldn't expose yourself to endless. You can go looking for stuff. You can go, you can read books, you can read blogs, you can read these kinds of things from reputable people. You can go and pluck information, but it should be at your control, at your decision, not just when you open up Instagram or open up Facebook and you just get eye fucked with everything else. Just think, if you follow 1,000 people, when you open up Instagram, you're not choosing to see what they post. You're allowing it. You are choosing. You're just allowing whatever they felt like posting that day to fuck your eyes. No matter what they wanted to post. If everyone wanted to post a fucking dog picture, you're just looking at a fucking dog pictures for when you're scrolling. Fuck what they post. Who cares? Follow a few people that impact your life positively and fuck all the other bullshit. If you want to look for it, then go look for it in the moment. You don't need to be forced. You don't need to follow someone and be forced to see whatever they want to post just because they want to. No, you need to be in control. Take back social media. Take back your phone. Take back your profile. It's not the social media apps. It's you giving the apps access to fuck your eyes with whatever someone else wants to fuck your eyes with. It's my eyes. I don't want dog pictures fucking my eyeballs unless it's my pup. Anyway, we talked about a lot of subjects today, a lot of stuff, but it all intertwines. It was fun. It was good times. Levi, always try to learn from your mistakes, cut out the BS and stop making excuses. Focus on yourself. Then you can help others. 200 pounds down. Wisely said. Congratulations. Good shit, man. That's legit. Yeah, man. Yeah, fam. Focus on yourself. Bring back the focus to yourself, to the basics. And of course, yeah, I choose what fucks my eyes. Why do you think I wear fucking glasses? It's not just the mild swolitis. I don't want things fucking my eyeballs. Anyway, much more content to come. We'll hit this again tomorrow. We'll crush more shit tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to go to swolenormousx.com to check out the latest on the blog. Check out the brand new apparel drops, the whole brand new collection for the 4th of July. It's up on the website, swolenormousx.com. Click on apparel in the main menu. And of course, YouTube, Instagram, brand new drops today. So go check it out there. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 1134. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swole, out.